I just show up whenever. I just don't have anything else to do.
So, guys, how's everybody doing? How's everybody coming along? We had a check in last week. We were seeing how everybody's doing and how everybody felt in projects going along. Has anybody finished anything? How about you, Agent M?
So far, I'm working on that project, the weirdness that I told you guys about last week. We got aliens and stuff coming soon, I promise you, and all the weird paranormal stuff. So, Brian, you might be interested in that.
Oh
Other
yeah.
than that, no, nothing. I've been I've been kind of just working on projects. What about you, Brian? You get into anything?
Yeah, I've been working on our show Mystery Dispatch. We're going to be coming up to later today with our next episode, but we're focusing now on our finale episode coming up on May 18th. It's going to be all about ghosts. So
Oh,
that'll be
ghosts.
fun.
I always love
Dang.
it. We are joined by our lovely other co-host, Jumpin' Gina Bean. Howdy.
Hi, what's up? Sorry.
No worries. How
Totally
are
good.
you? How are you? What are you up to this week? We're doing quick little check-ins.
I am really, really good. Trying to get some work done. Going out with my dogs. Life is good, sort of. I'm broke, but life is good.
So
Mike,
I mean, I'm broke.
yeah, well, I think we're all a little broke right now. The stimulus checks aren't helping.
They're not coming in
They-
fast
That's
enough.
enough.
yeah, they really are not. $1,200 is not going to last long at all.
No,
Mike, what you been
definitely
getting
not.
up to this week?
Oh, me. I have been doing my due diligence, like I said, about following up for news things. And I'm going to keep it real because I think everybody should keep it real, and there's no reason to hide how you feel throughout this week, especially during this COVID crisis. I got a little overwhelmed with information and everything that I was processing, and projects that I was working on that I couldn't get a lot of things done. I had a very relaxing weekend that pushed me into the right direction. Feeling amazing today. Which is great. But throughout the whole last week, I got a little overwhelmed with a project that I do, Campus COVID updates, and I just didn't feel the energy. And now, with other projects and other things that I got situated, I'm feeling amazing. I'm ready for this week. I'm ready and I'm prepared to deal with whatever's going to happen next.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that. I know I've really struggled with getting motivated and really some depression too. In a really weird way, this has been like a big long vacation, and that part's been fun. You know what I mean? In a sense, for me, it feels like a big long vacation. On the other hand, too much idle time for me personally just creates kinds of havoc, and I become it becomes super easy for me to continue to do that, which is not good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely it can get to you. What about you, Agent M? What you were saying that you're working on a couple projects. Can you give us a hint?
Um, no,
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 it's a
no, because it's
mystery.
gonna be. We're gonna end up on a list. I'm telling you that right
Okay, it's
now.
too long of a list. This man has a million projects
Give us
going.
the details.
The
Oh,
detail.
we have another guest that
Oh,
just
we.
tuned in, and he's a good friend of ours, Tyler Jimenez, the whitest Hispanic you know.
Don't
Um,
forget it.
and what have you been up to? We're checking in with everybody. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm falling behind though because I got camp or Corona conversations recorded. I've just been like being lazy on actually editing them, but I got them recorded from my buds who go to three separate colleges.
Nice. How are they doing with all of this at these colleges or
Most
their
of them are
respective?
taking most of them are taking their finals, but I mean it was kind of interesting when this first started because one of my friends completely got evicted from his living situation because he was staying at the
Wow.
dorms, and they're just like, "You need to get out. We can't have everyone on here." And it's weird too because like I got a friend who works in computer science, and he's kind of like me. Like he appreciates like how RTV is mainly like an on hands like program, the computer science he's taking at UOP is mostly on hands, and it's been like a weird change. And he's honestly wondering if he should even like if he should hold off going to college for a bit until he can actually go back with the on hands experience right now.
Jeez,
that's a big worry about a lot of people nowadays, about teachers working from social distancing and being all of this online stuff. And like you were saying, RTV is really hands-on, and we're lucky to have lab tech Brittany and Professor Broger. So teacher appreciation, don't forget to appreciate your teachers this week.
Especially at this weird and interesting time in education where these teachers are learning how to teach in a whole kind of brand new way.
Yeah, it's really uplifting seeing stories when teachers go in social distance and when the child is having a problem and they stay 6 feet away or farther and show them how to solve the problem. Like teachers who are going the extra mile, they are some of our saviors right now. I'm going to say it right now because these people are pushing along education when it's so hard to be around it right now. And then... So, you have any other projects other than Campus COVID? What about your radio show here on the station?
I got the 5th episode submitted. I'm just waiting for Brittany to give me the all clear if it needs to be, or if it can air or not. The thing I really need to do, I need to do the social media posts, and I was like tampering with what's the program called? I don't know. The one we were given, the one program we were given to make the social media posts. I was working with that.
Headliner.
Yeah, Headliner. I just suck with it. So like, I've gotten nowhere with it, but I know I got to get that done. That's another thing. Is does anyone know when everything needs to be said and done? Because I'm getting 2 classes right now. I've gotten my finals, and they're basically saying that this needs to be done by the 16th or the 11th.
There's definitely, I would say we have until the 15th. It has been announced.
May 18th.
May 18th.
May 18th is the correction.
Okay.
Right, May 18th is by the time we need everything. And just as a really good next step to everything, we can talk about how when finals are coming around. And Amelia, why don't you take a head on that?
Well, let's actually get into all the events that are coming up right now. Coming up on May 7th over at Delta College, we got a virtual job fair coming up, so make sure to check that out if you're looking for some employment right now. We got finals coming up May 15th, starting on May 15th. We also have virtual commencement coming up on June 8th. So if you are interested, please go over to deltacollege.edu and look under events for more information about these things.
The commencement ceremony, just so people know, you are allowed to have cap and gowns. I mean, not just allowed. You can still purchase your cap and gowns over at the bookstore. I don't know how they're handling it through social distancing and the no touch policy, but they are selling them over there. So, and there's also just a quick breakdown about things for the commencement ceremony, so students can know. They are accepting submitted videos by students for it, and with each student is getting a slide of appreciation on graduation, and on those slides it's going to have your associations that you were a part of at Delta College. It's going to have all of those things, plus if you feel as if your name is not going to be pronounced correctly, you can send the phonetic pronunciation, or you can send a recording of yourself to Delta College so they can have all the correct pronunciation of your name said out loud during the commencement ceremony. So there's all that, and make sure if you need any other information, contact the bookstore for your gowns, contact Delta College, go to the website. But those are all the things happening for the commencement ceremony. And also commencement applications for spring have ended 2 weeks ago on Friday. So no more applications for commencements for that.
So today is a very special day of May. Jumpin' Gina Bean wanted to bring this up. We were talking about this earlier before the show. And why don't you tell us what today is, Gina?
Oh, boys and girls, today is May the 4th, as in May the 4th be with you. For anybody on the planet, you should know that that is a reference to Star Wars, and it's been recognized as an official sort of holiday, quote unquote, since 2011. Although there have been references as early as 1979. It's
Today's the 4th.
Yeah, May the 4th. May the 4th.
Oh, I'm leaving after this.
Oh my.
Well, you probably are going to watch to watch some of the videos. So fans of Star Wars have collectively sort of recognized this day as the celebration day for Star Wars. It was actually once recognized on May 25th, which is which is recognized as Geek Day. May 25th was the original release date for Star Wars. A couple of other movies have been released on May 25th as well. But then the official sort of May the 4th be with you has been recognized since then on a little play of Revenge of the Sith. There is another holiday, both Revenge of the 5th and Revenge of the 6th. And there's usually watching parties. May 4th, there's 9 of the original movies, and then there's like 6 spin-offs if you count either series, movies, or games.
The special.
And the special, that sort of thing. Collectively, people tend to watch, rather than try to watch 9 movies in one day, the sort of in thing for many, many years has been to watch the original trilogy on the 4th, the prequel trilogy on the 5th, Revenge of the 5th, and then the sequel trilogy on the 6th.
I think we just lost you.
By government officials, Major League Baseball, the average Joe, cable and streaming platforms. Even in 2015, astronauts in the International Space Station watched Star Wars on May the 4th, 2015. So it's pretty cool. So May the 4th.
May the 4th be with everybody here.
Hey, speaking of which, anyone want to watch the last episode of Clone Wars after this? My friend's streaming it. That's how I was like, dude, you got Disney Plus? He's like, yeah, remember when we watched Clone Wars as a kid? They're streaming the new season on there. That's what we do.
That's great.
So you guys want in contact, I'll link you to the Discord, man.
Definitely.
My childhood ends today, man. The last of the Clone Wars.
So we have May the 4th, and let's not forget tomorrow, which I feel like a lot of people have forgotten, just because we can't go out to the beaches, we can't
Taco Tuesday.
You know what? You're gosh dang right. Cinco de Mayo is tomorrow. It is tomorrow. Remember that. Show your appreciation to your heritage in every way possible. It's not just a day to have drinks or anything like that, because that's how everybody's been celebrating quarantine that way. But I mean, just add a little bit and respect your Mexican heritage, respect just Mexican culture overall, or Hispanic culture overall, because we're all here together, because we are people who should respect each other in every culture. And the fact that we have Cinco de Mayo having tomorrow, I would like for everybody to just enjoy it for what it is, and don't go overboard for anything crazy, because we're here to be safe, and we're here to enjoy our time that we do have, especially with holidays like May the 4th and Cinco de Mayo. So we have all of that. And any other check-ins?
Well, we have some more hosts down here.
We have some new guests, some of them we haven't talked to in a while. Do you want to drag anybody in?
DJ Meeks, how are you? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. How you guys doing? I miss everybody.
Definitely.
We miss you. We all miss people.
Yeah, with COVID-19 going on, we've been so much more busy at work. But yeah, with Cinco de Mayo coming up tomorrow, I just want to remind everyone to stay responsible, play it smart. Cops are still out there, so we gotta be careful.
Definitely right about that.
Just offer them breakfast to let you go.
But it just sucks that Cinco de Mayo lands on Taco Tuesday. We're gonna have to wait about what 7 more years for that to come again.
Oh,
Right? Oh, that's gonna
we
suck.
we can all put it on our calendar. We'll be like 7 years ago, COVID-19 took away our Taco Tuesday.
I think
And
that,
we're taking it back.
you know what this
There's our
demands? It needs to
shirts.
be Taco Tuesday every day for the rest of the month.
Wait a minute. There's tacos
Noted.
and tequila in my house, so
Oh.
it's gonna
I
be
guess we're going to Gina's house.
Everybody stay 6
Safely.
feet apart.
Everybody wear your
He's
mask.
gonna do a drive-through.
Oh, that works too.
I have a sponge that works just as
Curbside
good.
pickup.
Oh, we checked in with everybody else. What are you working on, DJ Meeks?
So, since my main focus was Mudstock or local music, a lot of local artists are like not putting out a lot of content right now. So I'm gonna switch my show focus to all the festivals that got canceled. So like Coachella, Rolling Loud, Lovers
Mhm.
and Friends, Smokers Club. I'm gonna be making a really great DJ mix of all the headliners from those shows and be putting those into shows.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's gonna
Yeah,
be
because
great.
I was looking forward to going to all those festivals, but you know we gotta play it safe.
Right.
Probably stay away from festivals for a while. So in the meantime, we can enjoy a playlist from the headliners from each of those.
Definitely. I can't wait to hear that mix come through.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to release it.
Like that's gonna be amazing.
So
Sorry.
we wanted to talk about the stimulus checks.
Oh yes.
Michael,
Somehow
you
I
had
got mine.
I got mine, and I'm still honestly surprised I got mine. Granted, mine's up in Washington, so I don't know how I'm gonna get it right now.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how I got mine. Like
I guess-
my friend joined in one night. He's like, Tyler, what? You ain't getting shit from the government.
Hey, we're on the radio.
Stop it. I didn't know we were on the air.
Wait,
Look at the
we
chat,
definitely
Tyler.
apologize.
I didn't know. Oh my
We're
god.
sorry, guys.
It's the dump button, guys.
Educational radio, guys, and we're doing this
Educational.
live on Zoom. So mind you,
Yes. So let's
Oh,
move it along.
God.
We were talking about the CARES Act, aka
Yes.
the stimulus checks that are coming out to everybody, and it's taking a while for schools to get it. It's taking a while for people to get it. And Tyler received his. Adrian M has received his. And Meeks, you were saying something about
Yeah, I
yours.
got mine. Unfortunately, it got onto my TurboTax card, so it's hard for me to get it out. Everyone got like a check or a direct deposit, but I had it on a little TurboTax card.
Oh
So-
no!
Only used that card with it, but paid off all my bills. So shout out to the CARES Act. The only thing about the CARES Act, I wish they did a little bit more for the essential workers. So I still have to work. I'm not getting any hazard pay. My workplace doesn't really seem to take it serious. So I wish they would have implemented something a little more to keep the
Right.
essential workers protected.
I think that's definitely something that needs to be addressed in the next few. I'm gonna say days, even though it may take a
it
couple
may
weeks.
take a while.
It may take weeks to months for people to actually address this, but I think a big problem. Again, we're gonna keep moving this forward after this. I just want to hear Meek's thoughts on this. What do you think of them spending the money, the government, and people being out there and just giving thank you essential workers instead of doing things about actually paying essential workers more money or having them take each other together?
It's like, yes, we always appreciate a great thank you, but we go out on our job risking our lives being having the chance to get exposed to the virus without even knowing. So we do that every day just to serve people who come into our facilities. So yes, a thank you is always great to hear, but I would wish that our government really looked at it more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're seen as essential, we should be getting essential pay. It's not fair that people.
It's just a pretty matter of fact thing. It's just
Yeah,
it's just
a lot of
straight
people
black
that are
and white
on
there.
unemployment are making more than essential workers.
Yes.
So it's like we can't even take the option to get unemployment because we're seen as essential. So we wouldn't get approved for that.
Okay,
See-
I'm really glad to hear your thoughts on that, Meeks.
I want to bring something up. So I was on the internet on our veterans, and somebody brought up the idea of giving essential workers essentially like a GI Bill to pay for college and stuff. Is this something as an essential worker you think would be beneficial?
Definitely, because a lot of essential jobs that are still open, they don't give any benefits. I'm 40 hours a week. I don't get any benefits whatsoever. The most benefits that we get are tips, which are nice, but
Right.
tips aren't going to pay for college. So a GI Bill that would help students pay for college if you're an essential worker would definitely
No,
be something a lot of people would probably
but
go
here's the problem with that. How do we classify
essential.
essential workers?
I feel like everyone who still had to work the day that our country shut down from then.
Okay. All right, Mike. I'll
All
let you
right,
take your topic
so
back.
let's that we got some good thoughts from somebody who is an essential worker who's out there. I'm gonna say risking
Day to
themselves
day.
day to day. But not only has that been going on in Stockton and all this stuff about government not helping or things like that, let's go on and let's really do what Kind of Live is trying to bring to Stockton and to people who are listening to our radio show. And let's bring about some pretty good news that's been happening. And we have we have some pretty good stuff. And I found this story, and they call him the greatest grandpa alive. Throughout this COVID-19 crisis, he lives a mile and a half away from his grandkids, and he flew a drone with donuts and donut holes to his grandkids a mile and a half away so they could get a little bit less cabin fever. How does everybody feel about that we have brought up?
That's a cool grandpa.
That's one
Really?
cool girl.
I thought you were going to mention the story with
Super sweet.
Is it-
Super sweet. Get it?
Tina.
no puns here. Forbidden.
It's cool because, like, say this was happening 100 years ago, we wouldn't have this technology to be able to drone some donuts to our grandkids. We wouldn't have the ability to Zoom with our classmates and coworkers and friends and whatnot. So it's kind of nice that we have to go through this in 2020 because we have a lot more resources that we can utilize from home.
So
And
true.
on that note, Meeks, I also want to just sort of point out too, thank goodness for the technology. The technology itself and our ability to inform one another is why we're able to get the word out, stay home, diminish the curves. If we didn't have the technology to do all that stuff, we would be out there trying to go to work, passing the virus potentially at exponential levels. So yay for technology on that level too. Just the fact that we are able to stay home and diminish the spread is pretty fabulous.
That's definitely true. Diminishing the spread and still keeping contact with each other. I mean, social media, it's been seen as very divisive and saying that we're separating ourselves, but I'm going to say that it's been really what's been keeping us in contact nowadays, which is amazing. And having those drones and this technology can help people every single day during this crisis. We have another piece of good news because that was just worldly news. That was a man from Massachusetts, and we have news out here in Stockton. And I'm gonna say this is good news, and a little risky news. This family went around and to support all the restaurants, purchased a bunch of food for everybody, then set tables out 6 feet apart from each other and practiced a social distancing block party, and gave food to the neighborhood and everything, which I think is a really good thing because it's bringing they said they were able to speak to people that they haven't spoken to ever in their neighborhood before. It's bringing them together, but at the same time, there's a no touch policy. You're practicing social distancing and really being around each other. I thought that was some pretty great news.
That is good news, but how safe can you really be?
Again, that's being outside during this crisis. I think as a community, we still need to come to each other, and if we can actually have people doing this, staying at social distancing, and then we get the reduced stuff, we can actually see people being proper enough of going back to stores and practicing social distancing from here on out. I feel like these are the steps, but I'm going to say it's still extremely dangerous. Don't do a block party, but if you feel like you can help restaurants and help the people in your neighborhood with food and practicing things like this and creating your community to be stronger, which I look to in Stockton is a very strong community in and of itself. look out for each other like this. What do you think, Gina?
I agree. I have tiny little bit of mixed feeling that yes, it violates the quote stay at home. And I tend to sort of fall on the category of the lesser of two evils. They're trying to practice safe distancing, etc. I would prefer that people stay home if at all possible, simply because I do believe that that makes a difference. Having said that, I would rather something like this happen and people connect staying 6 feet apart rather than get such cabin fever that they freak out and then they're, just throwing away the stay-at-home order altogether, and then they're out there, protesting and putting everyone at risk. And that's one of the things that really sort of makes me crazy about this is that, for example, free speech has been fabulous, and you're allowed to have free speech, for example, but you cannot stand in the middle of a theater and yell fire because that puts someone else at risk with your free speech. Along those same lines, if you are in public somewhere and you're trying to exercise, your right to get out, if your right to get out infringes on my safety, then it's no longer your right. So I think people are forgetting that when they're out there saying, I want to go and, go back to the beach. Believe me, I'm a beach bum. I want to go out to
Definitely. And did you already give your statement on this, Amelia?
Yeah, I did. Because
Okay.
I have mixed feelings about this.
Yeah, I think it's very mixed.
Does anybody else have mixed feelings about this?
I do.
Oh, it's Justin.
Oh, Justin. Let's make these quick little minute statements. So let's get Justin, and then we'll have Meeks come next, because I like Meeks always has a really good and strong opinion. Let's go from Justin to Meeks. Let's make it pretty quick so we can get on to our competition.
Well, first of all, hi, everybody. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I was trying to get everything set up, but here I am. So much like you guys, I have very mixed feelings about it too. On one hand, it gives people a chance to, like Gina said, not get cabin fever. Lord knows that I've experienced that quite a few times, and every now and then I just have to step outside and go for a walk or something because I can just feel myself going crazy. But at the same time, doing this is still a risk because there's still a somewhat of a pandemic going on. So I don't think it's the smartest idea, but I mean, at the same time, it's it's kind of nice. But I mean, for the greater good, I don't think it's a good thing, So those are my thoughts on it.
Oh, it's definitely a mixed bag of nuts here.
Yeah. There's not enough Brazil nuts for this.
All right, Meeks, do you have anything?
Yeah, so that's a sweet story to see people still practicing social distancing from home, getting their community together, but still being 6 feet apart. But it's although you're 6 feet apart, it's still a risk. And coming from an essential worker standpoint of view, at work, we'll have cones set up for people to be 6 feet apart. But when they come inside, it's really hard to maintain social distancing, especially in a small facility. So moving forward with still having to do social distancing, I really wish there was some type of enforcement or some type of law that would really enforce social distancing when you go out, so that way we feel safe going out if the lockdown is ever lifted, like how it's slowly lifting right now.
Perfect.
Those are very good points, though.
That's a really good point. And let's bring it back. Let's see if we can get ourselves a caller. And if we can't get a caller, maybe we can play with the many of our guests that we have on today. We have many guests on today.
I think let's play with our guests.
Let's play with our guests.
Let's play real or is it fake news story.
So
go ahead, Mike.
This is you. You found the stories this week.
All right, I got 2 stories for you. I want you to pick which one is the real one, which one is the fake one. Anybody watching or listening, feel free to play along. First story: man arrested for camping at abandoned Disney World Island. Or millions of Texans pop out of barrels to engage in shootout after governor announces reopening of state.
I want to believe the Texan one is true.
The Texas one sounds believable.
That Texas
I
is
want
a
to chime in
great
with the
state.
Texan one. Sounds believable, except for the pop out of barrels. I'm not
Now,
buying
hold on, Gina. Have you ever been to Texas?
I have, and I've seen it happen.
Every Texan has a personal barrel when they're born.
Yeah, come on, Gina.
A barrel and
Their
a gun.
birthright.
Are we? So is it all barrel? Our viewers on YouTube are saying barrel as well.
All right, we got barrels, barrels, barrels. Justin, do you got barrels?
I got barrels.
All right,
We got
all
some
right.
I got
barrels.
barrels, man.
We're barrels for all. Mike, what is the true story and which one is the fake?
The true story is after the shutdown of Disney World, a man has been living on a Disney World abandoned island since 1999 for a week and was arrested after a week of living on that abandoned island.
But you said
Nice.
Disney World, right? That
Yeah,
makes
Disney
sense.
World.
Florida. We always get weird stories coming out of Florida.
See?
Always.
That is true.
We gotta
Where's
love
Florida?
our Florida.
I
We gotta.
want Texas to be true.
I wanted to text it. We found that on the Onion, and it's.
The onion.
We gotta
where
love the
it's at.
onion. All right, guys. Nice catching up with everybody. Thank you, every guest we had today. DJ Meeks, we got Justin, we got Brian Wiley, we got my co-host Agent M, and our other co-host Jumpin' Gina Bean, and I think I forgot to say Tyler.
We got Tyler, we got Nathan down there who joined
got-
us.
Nathan who joined us. So thank you guys, all of you, for coming in, and thank you for everybody tuning in to Kinda Live, and we hope we brightened your day just a little
A little
bit.
bit.
Before we go, big, huge thank you to our awesome, fabulous, extraordinaire computer whiz and radio, television, multimedia, lab tech, Brittany Marquez, for making all of this possible.
Yes.
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 Completely.
Yes. Thank you, Brittany. And now you guys are going to be tuning into Mystery Dispatch. And good luck listening to some ghosts. Finding out some more about ghosts.
Woo.
All right, we're still live on YouTube. I don't think we should be live on the radio anymore. Our sign off was 25.